Okay. I'd like to introduce to you guys, new to us for the first time. We've got Killer Beaz joining us this morning. How are you, Mr. Beaz?
Hey, good morning, guys. It's good to see your smiling faces. Kinda.
Well, it's good to see you, man. So, I look, I am new to your Boomer here is he's a Killer Beaz. He's a Killer Beaz longtime fan. I've just recently been introduced to you, and you're pretty funny for a white guy.
Not bad for a guy that didn't do his homework growing up.
I know that's right. So tell me about I'd love to hear about your career. Kind of what got you started, and just kind of give us the history.
Well, I've been a comedian. I'm in my 39th year.
Wow. So what, you're about you're 40, 45, 46 or?
Yeah, no lie, dude. Hey, I've got Medicare. Let's just put it that way. So I've been at it. It's been my life's work. Over half my life I've done this, and I've got right up front. It is the neatest thing in the world to make people laugh and smile for a living. That is an absolute dream come true, a dream I never had. Never even knew I would have that available to me growing up in Jackson, Mississippi.
You were always known as the crazy cousin or something.
Yeah. Oh, get this, man. Way back in old-timey days when I lived in Jackson, among other different jobs as I was trying to find my place in the world, if you will, I did about 3 years in a 911 emergency ambulance.
Oh, my goodness.
To my knowledge, I was the youngest person in the state of Mississippi to ever have that job. And so I did about 3 years of that, and my stand-up career is an exact opposite energy level and intensity level of a job. So it's been a really neat thing to me to go from gloom and doom and stress and all the things that go along with emergency services into walking on stage and just being silly and flippant and telling people that I think is really funny.
I would have loved to have been, if I was ever in a bad wreck or whatever, I would love to see you be the one that comes up and go, "Hey y'all, I got this."
Yeah. Dude,
hey y'all, pull your belt. Hey, you got a belt over there? Pull that belt off, wrap it around that thing. It sure is bleeding a lot. He's gonna be all right though.
Oh, I was great at it too. I'm like, "How much did you weigh?" 340 pounds. Well, can you go get in my ambulance? And always the hardest to carry people were always upstairs. Not just on a higher floor, but upstairs in a building with no elevator. So it was an adventure, man. And I've done just about every kind of call that there was, and it was very intense. I started, get this, when I was a senior in high school. And so way back then, man, I was a rock star at school because I would be late constantly. I worked every other night and every other weekend running these ambulance calls, and they waived the whole tardy rule. You know how if you're late more than 3 times, you get busted, yada, yada, yada. They knew what I was doing, so the school kind of okayed it, and I had an English teacher that would have me come up to the front of the class on days that I was late and tell my classmates what I had done the night before, which to me was just real cool because I got to go up and talk about all this exciting growth stuff to my classmates. But I think that teacher knew that me verbalizing what had gone down at work was a therapeutic thing for me. So as I look back on that, I'm just grateful at the insight that she had to let me, not even know that I needed to let me get that stuff off my chest. So isn't that cool?
Yeah, that sure is. So what has it been like? 2 things. Political correctness has made its best attempt to kill comedy. And then COVID said, hold my beer and watch this, and tried even harder to kill any kind of in-person gathering. So what's it been like being a comedian over the last, 3 years with the political correctness, but then 9 to 10 months with COVID? It's got to be a challenge.
Right, man. And well, number one, as far as the political correctness goes, the older I get and the more experienced I get, I've learned not to offend people. Before, political correctness was even a thing. I'm kind of a happy act. I like to go in and give people some levity and some relief from what they've been going through just in the day to day. So I'm not one of these put down comics. I'm not one of these, I hate this or you guys need to be doing this. So I'm pretty much safe on that regard because I'm more of the silly, let's just have fun type of an act. But now with COVID, man, it has really been a struggle for everybody that is a performance artist. I mean, and everybody else as well. But just, there's a chunk of people all around us who make their living in front of other people, entertaining or sharing or motivating, whatever you want to call it. There's different facets there. There are so many of us out here that this has pretty much just stopped us in our tracks. March 18th, I did shows in Orlando, Florida. Since March 18th, this coming to Huntsville is my 4th gig since March 18th.
Wow.
So, and I'm lucky that I've been in the business so long, I have name recognition and do well when I go to work and have been at it for forever and ever, if you will. But it has really been a daunting thing for a lot of cats out there that are performers and speakers for a living. So it's been really tough, man.
And it's tough for us too. I'm a huge comedy fan, and my wife and I would go to Stand Up Live probably once a month, just because life gets heavy enough as it is. Yeah. And to me, to go and sit there, have a drink and watch a comedian and just kind of escape. So not only it's hurt you guys, but it's hurt us too. I mean, it's one of these things where I've needed that. So I mean, if anybody is feeling heavy, I would endorse Killer Beaz. If there was a Mount Rushmore of people in my life that I like comedians, you're on that Mount Rushmore. And 2 shows
which
tonight.
Which also means you're old, by the way.
Yeah,
there's
that.
That seems like that's what it seems like that's what he's trying to say.
Well, no, but what I'm saying
I'm kidding.
is that there's a lot of, and I always want to say support the comedians coming up, but go with what you know.
Yeah.
And then when I go and I pay money and I'm spending money, I want to be to the person I know when I go to this show, I'm going to have a blast. And I will say that with Killer Beaz, you will have a ball.
Yeah, it's like when you go to Ruth's Chris, you don't necessarily try the hamburger steak. Right. Like I
want a pork chop.
Yeah, I'm at Ruth's Chris. I'd like to try the Caesar salad, please, with grilled chicken on it.
I want that 24-ounce porterhouse.
That's right.
And the big potato. That's what I want.
So you're at Go ahead.
Chili dogs are not on the menu at Ruth's Chris. You have to ask for it, and if the chili dog guy isn't in, you can't even get it that night. But Boomer, I appreciate what you're saying, dude. Yeah. And there are a lot of comics out there that really help people just get away for that hour. That bit of time that I'm on stage, I like to give people some relief. So it's a lot of fun to do. It's rewarding in that sense. So it's been a slow time for me during the pandemic, but I've also, during this time, made 5 different trips to the Smoky Mountains and back, filming for the Discovery Channel for the show Moonshiners. So that's kind of kept me busy.
Wait a minute.
And has given me stuff to do. So.
And we may have to have him back for another show to talk about just the Moonshiners.
My wife is somewhere freaking out right now. That's a favorite in our house. You mean to tell me that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
Beaz, you can look at him. You think that that would be?
It's the 10th season for the show, and it is my 5th season on the show. So they have taught me how to make moonshine, how to assemble a moonshine still. I know the ingredients. And it's so weird. I'm in showbiz and stuff. So if you get a chance to do TV, you do it. But just think about it. I make moonshine with hillbillies up in the mountains on TV. What could go wrong?
Yeah. So, in all fairness, we've not watched the. I mean, I've seen the promo for the new season, and we stopped watching it back when the one guy started to go legal, and it just seemed like it was getting a little bit. I don't know. It didn't feel the same. But now, what you're telling me is, I've got 5 seasons to binge now because I got to get caught up. I did.
Oh yeah, I work with the 2 guys named Mark and Digger.
Oh yeah,
that's the guys that I'm with on there. And we have become dear friends over the past 5 years, and they have literally taken me under their wing, if you will, and they've taught me this art form. And I just tell you, man, there is so much chemistry and physics that goes into how do I want to say this, the covert distillation of non-taxable artisan spirits at a non-disclosed location.
And you said you weren't politically correct.
Really, man. So, new season starts November 24th on Discovery Channel. It's a Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Central Time. I believe is when that airs. And immediately following the Moonshiners show, there's a spin-off show called Master Distiller, where they have brought in moonshiners from all over the country, and they have a head-to-head competition, see who can make the best moonshine and the best flavor. So it's very interesting.
Is there any chance?
And there's moonshine.
Is there any chance that you could make an introduction to Jim Tom for me?
You know what? I have never met Jim
Tom. Man, that guy is something.
And here's the thing, but here's the thing, Beard. We are the teams of moonshiners. None of us are in the same community.
Oh, okay.
So I think Jim Tom's in North Carolina. I'm not sure where everybody else
I got you.
is. I do my stuff with Mark and Digger near Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. But there's people in Virginia. There's North Carolina. There's Patty Bryant, the girl who's down in Louisiana. So they're scattered all over the place. So we very seldom run into each other.
Well, I've always wondered how you make a show about illegal activity without getting in trouble. So that'll be interesting to watch. Tell us. So you got the shows.
Yeah, Killer Beaz is going to be at Stand Up Live in Huntsville tonight. 2 shows. 2 shows tomorrow night. Go online, huntsville.standuplive.com, and get your tickets. I promise you, if you've been feeling heavy, if you just want an absolute escape and you want your ribs to hurt a little bit from laughing and have a good time, Stand Up Live, Killer Beaz tonight and tomorrow night will be huge. So
we'll get that out on our social media as well. Mr. Beaz, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Can you do a liner for us?
Oh, I'd be happy to, man. It'll be great. Let me know when you're ready.
We're ready when you are.
Hey, y'all, get this. You're waking up to Boomer and the Beard. That's buddies of mine. Go easy on them. They're good folks. We love them, and bless their hearts.
Hey, thank you so much for that. We're going to go to a break. Again, Killer Beaz tonight, 2 shows to Stand Up Live. We'll put that out on social media. We'll put that out on the website. We'll make sure you have access to that. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget Moonshiners starts here soon. Season whatever.
We'll get him back.
10.
People in North Alabama love it.
Yeah, we'll have to make this a regular thing if that's okay with you. We'll see you tonight. Stand Up Huntsville. Thank you again. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. Don't turn that dial or you're a communist. We'll be right back.